Hi, I'm Blake David Graham, and this is Store Mentor Consulting. Today's video is part one in our financial series, and its focus is to help you understand exactly what margin you're going to need to have to actually make money selling on Amazon. We'll also give a brief explanation of what a margin is. So if you don't know what a margin is, it's your percentage of profits after all of your sales and all of your expenses selling on Amazon. Now, a common problem that I see with a lot of my clients is they don't actually know 100% what their margin is. And they also don't know all of the costs that go into that margin that they may not be accounting for. So for all of our listings at our store, and what we're recommending to our clients is that you have at least a 20% profit margin after all of your expenses and all of your sales on Amazon. If you're running pay per click, you're going to have to be higher at about 26, 27, or 28%, as you have to factor those ad costs into your listing. Now, obviously, there's exceptions to the rule. There's a ton of different businesses and selling tactics on Amazon. I mean, if you're a high volume seller, 100 to 1,000 units a month, you can get by with a lower margin at a 10 or 15%, and it's probably going to be worth it for you. We have one listing of ours that does about $500,000 a year, and we keep a lower margin to keep it as the featured seller. We're at about 17 or 18%. But because the volume is there and we're the featured seller, it makes sense for us to take a lower margin. So a very important factor in determining your margin is the actual price of the product you're selling. So if you're selling high volume of $20 or $30 items, Amazon's probably going to take half of your profit right off the top. So you need to make sure that you have a huge margin on those low value items. The reason being, you need to make sure that you're actually making enough money to maintain that listing and make it profitable for you. As opposed to if you're selling low volume of very high value items, $500 or more, or $2,000 or more, it makes sense to take a lower margin there because you're making a lot more money per sale and it's worth it for you. As I briefly touched on earlier in my video, the biggest mistake that I'm seeing other Amazon sellers make is they're not correctly calculating all of the other expenses that will go in to make up their margin. A lot of people think that it's just what I purchased the product for and what I sold it on Amazon for. Now that is incorrect, as there are a lot of other expenses that are occurred along the way that have to be built into your margin. For starters, how are you getting your product? Sure, a lot of people deliver, but you may have to be driving to a wholesaler, distributor, or supplier and picking up your product in person. So that is gas and that is time right there. For FBA, you have your UPS shipping charge, your boxes, your packaging, your taping, and mainly your labor or time spent packaging, preparing, and possibly dropping that order off to get it ready to go into Amazon. Now for FBM, your expenses are a little lower, but you still have the boxing, taping, packaging, and labor time spent getting that order ready to go out to whichever carrier you're using. So before wrapping up, I wanted to share a quick story with you from our selling experiences and why we actually made the video for you today. We had a problem 2 years ago where we tried to add too many listings too fast without doing our due diligence, our homework, or following any of those steps mentioned earlier. So we were actually losing money on multiple listings, and we didn't realize it at the time, as we didn't factor in our ad costs and all of our other costs associated with that product. Now, I know on Amazon, once you post a listing, sometimes the sales are fast and furious and you become overwhelmed with filling orders and sourcing your product. I understand that that can happen, but the goal and the focus of this video today is for you to learn from our mistakes and to have that never happen to you. In summary, I really want to hammer home how important it is to do all those steps before you post your listing. Thanks for watching the video today. Go ahead and hit the subscribe button to join our community and stay up to date with all of our free insider tips for Amazon sellers. I'm Blake David Graham, and this is Store Mentor Consulting.